Have you ever just stared at a blank email, totally stuck on how to even start? Yeah, you are not alone. That simple work email can be surprisingly tough to write. But don't you worry, because today we are going to break down everything you need to know using some amazing insights from the language experts at Speak English Easy. Okay, let's get into it.
It all boils down to this one question, doesn't it? Hitting the right tone can feel like you're walking a tightrope, you know? Do you go super formal and risk sounding kind of cold? Or do you go friendly and maybe risk sounding a little unprofessional? It is a challenge literally everyone faces, from day one on the job to seasoned pros. And what's really interesting is that this isn't some settled debate, not even among the experts. To show you just how varied the rules can be, we asked a few of the language pros over at Speak English Easy. And as you can see, some lean more formal, but they're not afraid to throw in a little personality with a smiley face now and then. Then you have others with a completely different personal code. For this colleague, the rule is all about familiarity. A new contact, they get the more formal treatment. But even then, modern habits win out. Hi just feels more natural than the super traditional dear. It really goes to show you how personal and situational email etiquette has become. So, to bring some clarity to all this chaos, here is our game plan for today. We're going to start with, starting your email, then we'll move into the main body, and after that, signing off the right way. We'll also tackle the tricky subject of tone, and finally, we'll reveal the one golden rule that works pretty much every time. All right, let's start at the very beginning. The greeting you choose, it sets the entire tone for your message. Think of it like your digital handshake. Making that right first impression, it's absolutely key. So your two main options are usually dear and hi. Now, dear is your go-to for those really formal situations, like think of writing as someone very important or someone you've never met. But for your day-to-day stuff, hi has pretty much become the new standard. One expert actually mentioned they use it in 90% of their emails. It's friendly, it's professional enough, and it's a perfectly safe bet for most work interactions. Now, what if you're not sure which one to choose? There is a fantastic option that hits that sweet spot right between formal and friendly, and that's simply good morning or good afternoon. It is polite, it's professional, it's warm, plus it has this brilliant hidden benefit. You don't need a name. We have all been there, right? You need to email a generic address like info@company.com. Instead of using those cold, really outdated phrases like to whom it may concern, you can just use hi there or good morning. It's such a simple fix that totally masks the fact you don't have a name, and you still sound friendly and direct. Okay, greeting handled. Now let's move to the real core of your email, the main body. This is where you get down to business, and your choice of words here is crucial for both clarity and tone. And you'll see that tiny changes in how you phrase things can make a huge difference. Instead of the kind of stiff, I am writing to inquire about, you could try the softer, more collaborative, I'm wondering if you can help me with. And that old classic, please find attached, I mean, it's fine, but here is the document. It's just so much more direct and conversational. You know, this quote from Phil at Speak English Easy just perfectly sums up the modern approach. Try to think of an email less like a formal letter and more like how you'd actually speak to someone. If it sounds like something you would say out loud to a person, you are probably on the right track. So, you've made your point, and now it is time to wrap things up. Your sign-off is the very last thing your reader sees, and it really solidifies the overall tone of your entire message. So yeah, let's make it count. We can actually break down sign-offs into a few key categories. You've got your very formal ones, your politely formal ones, the friendly options, and then the ones that are more action-oriented. And choosing the right one, it really depends on the context of your email and your relationship with the person you're writing to. So let's look at the specifics. Yours sincerely, honestly, save that for formal letters, not so much for emails. Kind regards is a super safe, polite, formal standard. Just regards on its own, that hits that perfect sweet spot for a lot of people. All the best is a great warm option for someone you don't know well. Thanks is perfect when you're genuinely thanking them. And a personal favorite, looking forward to hearing from you, is just a wonderfully friendly way to encourage a reply. All right, now we get to the really subtle stuff. Tone can be the absolute hardest thing to get right in writing because you don't have body language or your voice to help you out. It's all about reading between the lines. And nothing, I mean nothing, sums up the tone dilemma more than this question right here. Should a smiley face ever appear in a professional email? Well, the answer is, it depends.
The big takeaway here is that emojis can be useful. For sure, they can add warmth and they can clarify that you're being friendly, not demanding. But the rule of thumb is to be cautious. Probably avoid them with senior management or brand new contacts, unless they use one first. That's your green light. We have covered greetings, the main body, sign-offs, and tone. Phew. But if you remember just one thing from all of this, please make it this next part. This is the golden rule that will guide you through pretty much any email situation. And here it is, straight from Pippa at Speak English Easy. The single best piece of advice is to just match the style of the person you're talking to. If their email is formal, with dear and kind regards, you mirror that. If they're using hi, maybe a smiley face, and a more conversational tone, then you are totally safe to do the same. Let's actually give this a name: email mirroring. It's just the simple act of observing and adapting to the other person's style. This takes all the guesswork out of the equation, and it's your safest bet for hitting the perfect note every single time. It's really less about a rigid set of rules and more about just being observant and responsive. So, as we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. After everything we've covered, what is your go-to sign-off? And does it fit that email mirroring rule? You know, being intentional about even the smallest parts of our emails can make all the difference in our professional communication. Thanks so much for joining me.